And Bill Leslie.
Well, for both sides, the formula that got them here to Wembley is the one to try to take them beyond. Gillingham sticking with the same 11 that started both legs of the semi-final against Rochdale. Simeon Jackson was the match winner, his 20 goals this season make him their top scorer. Barry Fuller, the captain, he's a boyhood Gillingham fan, and along with the opposite fullback John Nutter, the two in this lineup that have played here at Wembley before, both veterans of that FA Trophy win with Stevenage 2 years ago under Mark Stimson. Paul Simpson goes back to the side that started the final day must-win game at Dagenham. Chris Humphrey scored that afternoon. He's fit again and back in the midfield. The task of partnering 28-goal Grant Holt falls to the former Everton striker Nick Chadwick. Just two of this side started the playoff final defeat here 2 years ago. Kelvin Langmead and Neil Ashton. Adam Miller missed both semi-finals injured, but he's back on the bench for Gillingham. Omarisa and David Worrell, the two from the semi-final win for Shrewsbury, who drop out of the starting lineup today. A long 13 days then since these two clubs booked their place here at Wembley. That's an awful lot of time to think, to focus about this moment. Walking out at Wembley Stadium. Some managers try to tell you that this is just like any other game. One look around will tell you it is pretty far from that. What makes these playoffs so enthralling, so enticing, so entertaining is the gap between success and failure. It's a gap that just gets wider as the weekend goes on. When these two sides last sized each other up for a kick-off back in mid-March, just around 6,000 fans were waiting at the Priestfield. Today, around 10 times that many, and a match you could say, Gary, is about 10 times, 100 times perhaps more important.
Absolutely, couldn't be more right. And listening to both managers saying go out and enjoy it, you want to enjoy it, you want to savour the occasion as a player, because you might not get there again, but it's so difficult in this atmosphere. You've just got to start the game so positive, get your first tackle in, get your first header won, get your first touch right, but as I say, it all goes out the window in this sort of atmosphere because you're uptight, you're nervous, and you should be nervous because it's an absolutely brilliant occasion. Barry
Fuller, the Gillingham captain, doing the introductions. Lord Mulwiney, the chairman of the Football League, and the presentation party from Coca-Cola making their way down the line. The Gillingham side who finished 6 points better off than their opponents here today. Also, as part of the presentation committee, representatives from all our armed forces. Big day out for them as well. Today, it is the Royal Navy's turn. Clive Oliver is the match referee today. There's his wife, Deb. Big weekend for her as well. Her son, Michael, 23 years old, will be in charge of tomorrow's League One playoff final between Millwall and Scunthorpe. Well, so much about the approach is dictated by the approach of the managers, Gary, isn't it? They try their best to be relaxed, to keep their players in that frame of mind, but goodness me, with that big 13-day gap, it's got to be difficult, doesn't it?
The build-up, it must be a nightmare for players. I know it is, because people are asking you for tickets. You just want to get away from it. The press are after you. Some managers take teams away and just relax them, get them away from all that pressure, and it's a big job, one that's not easy to do as a manager, but they have to somehow do it, take all the pressure off the players, and then when it's time, like now, they get out there and they have to do the business. The manager's done all he can at this moment.
Well, it very nearly is time to get underway. First of all, it's time for the national anthem. going to provide the most mouth-watering of climaxes to all four domestic divisions. And we get underway next.
It's the start of the playoff finals, beginning with Coca-Cola League 2, Gillingham against Shrewsbury for the right to play in League 1 next season. Commentators Gary Birtles and Bill Leslie.
Well, who is going to be the hero here at Wembley this afternoon? Last year at this level, Liam Dickinson got the winner for Stockport County. Grant Holt, 28 goals this season, £170,000, very well spent for Shrewsbury Town. And he rediscovered his goal-scoring touch here against Gillingham this afternoon, a club he's already scored 3 against this season. On the flip side, Simeon Jackson, £150,000 Gillingham forks out for the young Canadian. He is banging form. He was the difference in the playoff semi-final. Can he be the difference on this season-defining date this afternoon at Wembley Stadium? Well, the strikers, Gary, always seem to be the focus of attention on a day like this, but it's all about team performances. Which of the big players can turn up with their big games on the big day, if you like?
Well, I think the key to this game is the back fours, the respective back fours. Can Shrewsbury deal with the frightening pace that Gillingham have up front? And can the Gillingham back four deal with Grant Holt? And for me, whoever comes out on top as a back four, I think is going to win this game.
Well, it is Stimpson against Simpson. All the I's will be dotted, the T's crossed in their meticulous preparations to be Wembley winners, to be League One managers next season. Paul Simpson, for so long this season, his side were tipped as automatic promotion contenders. Deep breath from the managers, and his players will be gulping in the North London air into their lungs just as deeply. They'll derive confidence, Shrewsbury, as well, from the fact that when they have had to win in these last few weeks, in these closing weeks of the season, they have managed to do just that. Gillingham have saved their best form, their consistency for the end as well. It's a fascinating matchup, it could go all the way. The back of minds, of course, that 7-0 defeat back in the opening weeks of the season that Shrewsbury dished out. That is a long, long time ago now, and this is a very different stage to the Pro Star Stadium in September. Well, Gillingham won the toss. They are in their home strip. They're in the home dressing room here at Wembley. Shrewsbury in their change outfit today will get matters off and underway. The playoff weekend has begun. Hold on tight. Predictably, Shrewsbury look immediately for Grant Holt up front.
Of course they will. He's the man who leads that line so well for Shrewsbury. They have to get players from midfield around him. So important they do that.
Interesting contrast in formations. We'll see how that pans out after these early exchanges. King against Holt. That's going to be a key contest here. Just hooked away in the nick of time by the Gillingham captain, Barry Fuller. Shrewsbury have started like they really mean business.
That's what I said. Which back four are going to deal with the respective forward lines better? And straight away, Grant Holt gets the upper hand in the box. Well, we know how good he is in the air, and this just goes to prove it. Long hanging ball, just backs in, gets the downward header, nobody coming in to capitalise, and Shrewsbury just get it away. But look at him, he knows exactly what to do in that area. He battles with his centre-half, he holds them off, and just puts it across the face of the goal, hoping that somebody's going to come in.
And they've really shut up shop at the back recently, Gillingham. 4 clean sheets in their last 5 games. Just that 1 goal conceded at home against Rochdale in the semi-final. Still inside the first 90 seconds, but Shrewsbury are certainly having the better of these early exchanges. Touch from Coughlin, their captain. Of course, all the publicity pre-season in the build-up was about the arrival of Grant Holt at the Pro Star Stadium, but Coughlin in his own way has been just as key at the back, the 34-year-old Dubliner. Bartram, first chance for the former Spurs product to try and have a run at the Shrewsbury Town defence.
And this is the problem he's going to cause them, and Ollie and Jackson. When they get the ball, they'll just turn and run, try and commit you, try and get beyond the back four. So Barcham put the ball across the face of the goal for Jackson to score his goal in the semi-final. He'll be looking to do exactly the same today.
Well, if you take 37-year-old Simon Royce out of the equation, it is a very young and hungry Gillingham side. That's something they will hope will stand them in good stead here. Barcham certainly comes into that category.
I was convinced it was a corner there, Barcham.
And in a way they come together here from different areas. Shrewsbury, who have not been able to play at the third level in 12 years. Gillingham, the momentum has largely been a downward one over the last 4 or 5 years since they won that playoff here against Wigan in 2000 after extra time in such dramatic style. Got up to the Championship, a couple of relegations in the space of the last 3-4 seasons, and find themselves at the bottom level again. It's a real chance here to bounce back immediately. Simon Royce has experienced most things since he turned professional, playing for Heybridge Swifts. He's a part-time painter and decorator when he turned professional with Southend back in 1991. This is the first time he's played at Wembley, fulfilling, as it is the ambition of all footballers, one here today.
Quite a few of us come from the building trade, don't we? Non-league.
He does the painting, others lay the carpets, Gary.
Exactly. We all play our part.
Well, it's certainly something that Gillingham have drawn on. The fact that non-league hunger, as Andy Scott was touching on before the game, a lot of these players, in fact 7 out of the 11 out there, have played at one stage in non-league football. And Mark Stimson, of course, enjoying his managerial success at non-league level. 3 seasons in succession with Grays and then with Stevenage, winners of the FA Trophy.
It just shows if you've got the confidence to do that, bring non-league players in, you'll get your rewards from them, and Stimson has seen that. He's brought players in, a number of them, and they've taken to league football quite comfortably.
Shrewsbury will feel that their last trip here to the capital will stand them in good stead. When they went to Dagenham on the final day, they knew anything other than a win, and they would be playing in League 2 again next season. They won that game today. Slightly more salubrious surroundings than the parking in Dagenham Stadium, but the same applies to them. Really knock for Simeon Jackson.
Up he gets, thankfully. This is why, oh, there's the head, right at the back of his head. Unintentional, but oh, they hurt.
Well, John Nutter, one of the former Grays players in this side, will launch this one in and launch it in pretty effectively. Wasn't far away from creeping in round the back either, Barcham.
It's a decent delivery. Looks to the far post. Dangerous ball in, difficult to defend. Looks like it's going beyond everybody. Barcham gets ahead on it, but can't get it back across the face. Just settled a little bit now, haven't they? Gillingham after a good start by Shrewsbury.
We heard Paul Simpson said before and mentioned that 7-0 win. They also, when they played more recently at the Priestfield, drew 2-2. With 2-0 up Gillingham to the last 11 minutes, and 2 from this man. Grant Holt changed the proceedings that day. Holt looking to turn provider this time. In goes a rash-looking challenge from Fuller. He takes a nervous look at the referee. Just a goal kick, though.
It did look a bit rash. A little smile on Mr. Oliver's face. Got a good view of this. There's the head. Just pulls out, doesn't he? Just pulls away. There's no appeal here. There's the head. There he pulls out. That's good refereeing. Had to get that right.
John Nutter, Josh Wright, the youngest in the Gillingham side.
So impressed with him in the semi-final. Just holds in there, he's always available, protects really well and lets the other players get forward with pace in front of him.
Speaking with pace, that's something that Simeon Jackson is more than able to exploit. Oli is another one, he closes in Should be able to clear it away though, Ashton. It'll take a little help from his captain Coughlin though. Neil Ashton bound to be nervy. What a torrid semi-final couple of games he had.
Didn't he just? And I think Coughlin was saying, that's how you do it, that's where to put it, don't try and be clever.
Interesting to read Mark Stimpson's notes in the Wembley souvenir programme here this afternoon. He says it's vital his side don't come here and try and score the perfect goal. They need to just play their game. Cited the example of Ricky Hatton's 6 weeks of planning before his fight with Manny Pacquiao. It all went out of the window as he went gung-ho. Didn't want his players to do the same thing.
No need to. Just get acclimatised, get used to the surface, and then just see what happens as you go along.
You mentioned the surface, it looks absolutely pristine, this 7th different pitch that has been laid here at the National Stadium since it was open for business.
Well, I had a walk on it and it felt fabulous. It wasn't too hard, it was perfect. It was a joy for players to play on a surface like that.
And it has plenty of football to host before the bank holiday weekend is out. Good, isn't it, to have these playoffs back in the ascending order, if you like. Sometimes World Cup commitments, European Championship commitments for Championship players means that the big final has to be played first. This time, though, it starts off good and it gets even better. Here's Holt now to try and get the better of Wright and King. Well, they were caught in two minds there, weren't they? Both players full of will win the day and be able to clear it away up towards Dennis Early.
Got a little bit lucky, didn't he, there? Holt just slid it in there. Davies thought he was second favourite, so it proved in the end. Holt latches onto it now. He's got good vision, sees the pass on there, and you think Davies is just going to come in, but I think he thinks his marker's going to get there first and the chance disappears.
Who would be a centre-forward by trade, but has, in this Mark Stimpson 4-3-3 formation, been employed coming in from the right.
There we see the strength, volley, perseverance.
And so to Gillingham comes the first corner of this League Two playoff final in the 10th minute. Gary Richards up from the back, Simon King too. Langmead with the header to meet it, it's not properly clear. There's a fine effort, blocked away though.
There's been a number of those sort of fouls so far in the first 10 or so minutes, as you'd expect. Both teams settling down. Referee's important. He gets off to a good start, and he has done so far.
Little slip there from Moss, Mr. Reliable, he's known as in the Shrewsbury dressing room. Langley came across the cover rail, read the situation, didn't he?
Well, looking for that pace on the Bartram. Knows if he gets beyond, he will cause Shrewsbury all sorts of problems.
Glance from Simeon Jackson, and Luke Daniels, the hero of the piece, no doubt about it, in the semi-final. Davis. Ashton will prepare to launch this one in for Shrewsbury. Holt comes close, only sticking with him. No one will float behind. But there is a criticism of Grant Holt, Gary. It's the way that he doesn't spend enough time in the place where he can really hurt teams.
I've always said he's too honest for his own good. He's always available, he always comes towards the ball. And sometimes he gets isolated out wide when he needs to be in the box. And they did ride the luck a little bit against Bury, didn't they? Daniels performed an absolute masterclass of goalkeeping in that second leg.
They really had to dig deep, didn't they? Playing almost the whole of extra time at Gillingham with 10 men as well after Stephen Leslie, who's of course suspended here today, was sent off.
They missed a penalty, didn't they, Bury, and numerous chances, but just couldn't make it pay. I'm sure it's given Shrewsbury a great deal of confidence, or it should have done.
Gillingham Player of the Year, Simon King on the ball.
Really good partnership, haven't they? King and Richards at the back there, so comfortable, complement each other.
Stuart Lewis for Barry Fuller. Josh Wright. Gillingham have certainly settled now, haven't they? John Nutter.
1 and 2 touch at the moment, isn't it? You like to see.
Weston. Nutter on the run, he'll take it on his right foot as well. Came off the back of Coughlin. Still John Nutter. And Nutter again, he's on a one-man mission to destroy Shrewsbury here.
You like to see that, your fullbacks kept forward and he just carried on going forward. Just followed everything there.
Well, it was his run into the penalty area against Rochdale that earned the decisive penalty down at the Priestfield. When they get their running game going, if you like, that's when they are dangerous. When the runners beyond the front man, and John Nutter fulfilling that brief absolutely perfectly there.
Shrewsbury are really aware of that, dropping a little bit deeper, denying that space behind them a little bit, because if you play a high line, it gives people with pace more chance to get in behind, and you just don't want to see that. There's Shrewsbury back four.
Here's Curtis Weston. Nutter again. King looks for Oli. Ashton prevails this time. Oli snaps back at him.
Well, he's good going forward, but proves he can get back and get a tackle in as well.
Dennis Oli, that one. Royce thought about coming. Holt might just get that. Well, he did, but he couldn't turn it towards any of the supporting cast that were with him.
Yeah, what a good battle that was between Richards and Holt. I'm sure that's going to be a key element of this game. Those two comes out on top.
Ashton this time, that one. Coughlin as ever there to save the day for Shrewsbury. Chadwick the jumper with Simon King this time.
Struggled to get in the game so far, hasn't he, Chadwick? Holt has been the stronger of the two so far. Get the ball to his feet if at all possible, Chadwick. At the other end, Shrewsbury back four are coping at the moment with Jackson and his pace.
Despite it being a winning side at Gillingham, you can see why Paul Simpson made the changes back to the side that won at Dagenham on the final day, and the side, albeit that were narrowly defeated by that slightly free-cone goal at the ProStar Stadium in the first leg of the semi-final. Ball from Luke Daniels, and a claim from the young on-loan West Bromwich Albion keeper.
It's comfortable for him, wasn't it? Saw it early, came and collected. important that the manager gets in his mind his best starting 11 and sticks to that starting 11. Gives them that belief.
Only there we see the pace as he leaves Ashton in his wake. Jackson in the middle, Barcham joining him. So too Stuart Lewis taking up a useful position on the edge of the box. In by Curtis Weston. And of all the options available, that perhaps the least effective of them.
Owen again does tremendously well, cuts inside, does the right thing, laid it back, and just poor quality. The final ball that let them down there.
A little flick from Holt there. Took Richards to go in strongly to get it away. Chadwick leaning in. The free kick will go Richards and Gillingham's way. And Gary Richards, one who will feel he's due the big occasion. He missed out on the big FA Cup tie that Gillingham had this season against Aston Villa. And back in his Colchester days, he was suspended for their big day out. You might remember they had a draw at Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. He was suspended for that after being sent off in the game before. Very much part of things here on Gillingham's big day at Wembley. And by Barry Fuller. Now right. Weston. Cut off at Sourcewell by Ashton. Gillingham starting to dominate. Dennis Oli. Trickery. In by Dennis Oli. Away by Kelvin Langby for Shrewsbury. Wright, the teenager. Barcham. And Shrewsbury get a chance to come out through their youngster of the piece, Chris Humphrey. He's got two for company. That's why King is Gillingham's player of the season.
He reads the game so well, doesn't he?
League Two's John Terry, they call him. Certainly is an absolute pivotal role at the back. We heard him talking just before kick-off about the responsibility he takes for the clean sheets. Well, there are 4 of them, as we were saying, in the last 5 games.
Well, you want 11 captains out there, don't you? He takes that on board.
There's the Gillingham chairman. Rough times at the club last season as they were relegated to League Two. Says he's fallen in love with the game all over again this time round, as Mark Stimpson has guided Gillingham to this playoff final. Here's Weston, good cutback ball. Jackson was setting his sights. Shrewsbury are no mean shakes at the back themselves these days.
I think that's the way forward for Gillingham. They have to breach that defence, get around them, down the sides. Because Langmead and Coughlin are so strong in the air in the box.
It's classy by King to start it off. He's been left upfield. Here's Josh Wright. Now Weston, the former Millwall player. Really taken to their surroundings now, Gillingham, aren't they? Using the full width of this Wembley pitch. Back comes Grant Holt. Tells you everything you need to know about the straits that Shrewsbury are in if he's picking up the ball closer to his penalty area than to the opposition's.
They're just moving the ball better at the moment, Gillingham. 1 and 2 touch.
They're playing like a side, aren't they, that have saved their best till last, unbeaten in their last 6 games. Come on, come on. Just had a little wobble about a month before the end of the season, which probably realistically did for their hopes of automatic promotion. In goes Ashton, caught way too much of Dennis Oli.
Well, he's starting to cause some problems, isn't he now, Oli? Well, Gillingham, as you see there, just starting to get on top, starting to impress.
It's a situation, the team's necessary to send the centre-halves up. It's the full-back Nutter who will take it, and Coughlin just content to get it away. puts it behind for a corner. Gillingham pressure halfway through this first half continues to mount.
Well, every chance they get, they're putting the ball in that area there, making Shrewsbury defend, and Langmead and Coughlin so far have had to do quite a bit of that.
Weston, time to the pass, he picks it well for Wrights.
Well, that is a chance, isn't it? And that's poor defending from Shrewsbury, totally switched off, just expecting the ball to come in the box. It's good thinking by Gillingham, play the short one, look at that, nobody near the ball. All the time in the world to lay it back and all the time in the world for the shot. Not a good one. Difficult though, comes to win quickly, slightly behind him, but Shrewsbury have got to be more switched on than that.
And a busy season for the youngster, played for 3 different clubs. Promoted with one, his contribution earlier on this season. Brentford relegated with another with Charlton. What will happen to the club where he finishes the season? It's looking good at the moment.
Winning the midfield battle at the moment, Gillingham getting on the ball more, moving it across the line, getting the wide men involved. At the moment, Shrewsbury are struggling to get the ball up to Chadwick and to Holt. As you said, Holt's having to come back a little bit too deep to get involved.
Little touch from Ben Davis, in by Ashton, glance by Chadwick. I'm sure they'd rather not be on the back foot, Shrewsbury, but it's something they have become used to, doing it the hard way as they fought their way into the playoffs. Only that last day win at Dagenham, of course, got them there.
At the moment, Gillingham are getting their key players involved, the wide players. Humphrey for Shrewsbury's hardly had a kick so far, and they need to get him in on the ball and use his pace, but he's having to defend and help out his midfield and the back four.
Is it a case, Gary, of this 4-3-3 formation? The extra man in midfield, just dominating things, is that the reason?
At the moment it is, yeah. I said before, it's 1 and 2 touch football. That's what you should practice in training, that's what we always used to practice. And the reason for that is because you move the ball quicker, you don't get closed down as much, and that's exactly what Gillingham are doing. They're making it so difficult for Shrewsbury to get anywhere near them when they're on the ball.
Well, the bookmakers found it hard to split these two sides in terms of who was favourite. Gave Shrewsbury, most of them, a narrow edge because of the results during the season. Not to know which way it would affect the match, if at all. Will it make Gillingham nervous? Will it make them more hungry? It seems to be more of the latter, the way this match has panned out so far.
More energy about their performance at the moment.
Stuart Lewis. Coughlin again having to dig it out from the very heart of the Shrewsbury Town defence.
They're asking questions of the Shrewsbury back four every time they go forward, whether it's in the box or it's out wide. They're making them defend really hard, and how long can they do that for, Shrewsbury?
Barcher, here's Jackson, good defending by Langmead. Flick back in by Lewis, that's Coughlin away.
It just shows how important good centre-half partnerships are in football. We always talk about strikers, but Langmead and Coughlin, again, like Richards and King, complement each other so well. So important you get that continuity.
Well, he comes short. Humphrey, and he be the outlet here for Shrewsbury, couldn't find a way past John Nutter.
Again, so deep, isn't he? To come back, and it's difficult then to be able to propel yourself forward and get into that space in front. Can Gillingham do it? They've got Ole and Bartram further forward.
Holt, Chadwick. Oh, Shrewsbury have a free kick.
I think a little bit amused by that decision, but it's right in front of the assistant. It's difficult to get involved in the game so far. That just gets a flick and just a little nudge in the back. Flag goes straight up. Don't argue.
Situations like this have been at a little bit of a premium for Shrewsbury recently. McIntyre will take. High hanging one, and it was easy enough for Royce to claim it.
Well, there's the difference. Every time Gillingham have put the ball in the Shrewsbury box, they've had to defend it. One chance they get to do it, Shrewsbury straight to the goalkeeper. gone about this game in a really unfussy manner, hasn't he? He's been right on the spot. He's got every decision right so far. That's what you want as a player. You want a referee to be like that, especially on an occasion like this, when it means so much to both teams.
He wants to show that he's setting the family standard with his son in charge tomorrow, of course.
Yeah, follow that.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Still over an hour of the match to go here. Josh Wright standing over it for Gillingham. Cast of 6 in blue assembled for him.
You saw the importance of Grant Holt at the other end there, heading clear.
Weston trying to pick it up. Shrewsbury stand firm, and they've needed to do a lot of that so far. After a really strong start, they've been on the back foot for the best part of the last 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you saw Humphrey pick the ball up there, look forward, and there was no Shrewsbury player in front of him, so he had to wait. And they came out. They just look a little bit more sluggish than Gillingham at the moment. So much brighter on the ball.
And when Gillingham get forward, they get forward in numbers. When they get back in numbers. It's something that Shrewsbury haven't found a way to contend with yet.
Well, there again, you see how much Gillingham are on top of this game at the moment. It's putting Shrewsbury under so much pressure. They've just not got the delivery right in the box. They've made Shrewsbury defend. Just looking for that spark of quality.
Davis went down. He's a key man. Usually tries to get up there with the strikers for Shrewsbury. Barely seen anything of him.
Well, they're being pushed so far back, Bill, that they're struggling to do anything offensively at the moment, Shrewsbury. But it's still 0-0. Say they've defended it well. The two centre-halves have been outstanding so far, and they've had to be.
Echoes of Gig Lane, perhaps, when the opposition had much the better of the game, but ended up second best. A towering header by Simon King. There's Dennis Ollie. Simeon Jackson a live wire ahead of him.
Well, we didn't need to play that as hard as that. Just tease it into the channel. Jackson a chance. But he's made them defend again and put it out for a throw-in. Throw-in right in the final third.
Here's Josh Wright. Stuart Lewis into Ollie. Fuller drilled in well over the head of Ollie, and could have gone anywhere off the chest of Moss, behind for a corner.
Well, this time they get the quality right. They nearly go in front. One touch, puts it in. It's attacked well there. Just a little flick, and that's good defending at the far post. Look how it comes, taking no chances. Excellent defending. That's all the credit he deserves there.
Josh Wright disguised his left. It's brilliantly worked and brilliantly saved by Daniels into the roof of the net. They're getting closer. John Nutter's drive saved by Daniels.
So inventive, aren't they, from set pieces? It's always unexpected, and Shrewsbury just aren't picking it up. A lovely dummy there, and between them there, the goalkeeper, I think it's Holt as well there. The step over there, terrific strike. Between the two of them, Holt and the goalkeeper saved the day. Knows how close that was.
Well, you can see what they've been working on in this 13-day gap, can't you? Another short corner, another chance for John Nutter to use that left foot of his, but potentially here a Shrewsbury break. Humphrey on his own, touches it past King, but touches it straight away and out of play.
Again, there are that many bodies back for Shrewsbury. When Humphrey picks it up, he has to do that. He has to try and do it by himself, and it's so difficult for midfield to get out and join in with him when you're being penned back so much. A lot to think about there for Paul Simpson.
Perhaps not going according to plan so far for Paul Simpson.
I think he'd be thinking, well, at least it's still 0-0. We haven't conceded. We've been resolute at the back. Well, only 3 attempts, but the possession has been so much in their favour, and there's the one on target, and Shrewsbury have hardly had anything to shout about in the final third.
That's one problem that Gillingham have had, despite this pretty good run recently, where they've been so solid defensively. Goals haven't really flowed. They've scored 8 in the last 11 games.
Well, they have people on the bench who score, don't they? Cameron, come on, Miller.
Hoisted high, too high by Barry Fuller. Well, this is the start to a wonderful weekend of action up and down the leagues. Survival Sunday. Aston Villa against Newcastle United. You can see that, Sky Sports 1 and HD 1 from 3 o'clock. Then from 4, it's Hull against Manchester United, available on Sky Sports 3 and HD 3. And you need to use the red button to access Sunderland against Chelsea from 4 o'clock, Sky Sports 3. The relegation battle played out before your eyes, as is the battle to see who will join Brentford, Exeter and Wycombe Wanderers in League 2 next season, and indeed Charlton, Norwich and Southampton and Leeds United.
Well, that's the second time Chadwick's been caught in this first half. This is why. There's the arm and the elbow straight across him there. It's that old adage, do you get the leverage without doing that? Definitely didn't look the best, that one. You do so much damage when you're flying through the air at that speed and your elbow's leading.
Well, Nick Chadwick was one of those 2 changes made. Omar Risa started that second leg away at Gig Lane. Feeling the effects of a robust Gillingham challenge, and there's a man who knows all about that, Andy Hessenthaler, part of the Gillingham golden age, if you like. Played in that playoff final here when they were leading 2-0 going into the final minutes against Manchester City. That famous day when they ended up losing on penalties to Man City. Nicky Weaver's jumping over the hoardings and all the celebrations that followed. And the year after, Gillingham came back and did it all over again. Andy Thompson's goal putting him in club folklore for the Gills.
Well, it's up to Shrewsbury now to try and put a little bit of pressure on Gillingham. So far, they've not managed to do that.
Well, Ben Davis tends to enjoy firing them in from this sort of range. 13 goals from midfield. He's hit that one pretty well. He had Royce scrambling across his goal.
He did scramble, but I think he knew exactly where that ball was going there, Royce. It's a long way out. It's not hit with enough pace to trouble them. Yeah, he sees it round the post. It wasn't going to trouble him. He's making sure.
It's the first shot on goal from Shrewsbury. And we're now in the last 10 minutes of the first half. Out comes Royce, takes command.
Yeah, some goalkeepers might have slid in, tried to handle that, slid out the box. He didn't. No chances.
First, Simon Royce came to Wembley Stadium as an 11-year-old, watching that League Cup final between Liverpool and Manchester United in 1983. Ronnie Whelan got the winner as Liverpool came from behind. Norman Whiteside scoring, you might remember, for Manchester United. Always been a dream of his to play here. It's just what he's doing now. Will he be playing for Gillingham next season? The outcome of this match might have a big bearing on that. He's out of contract in the summer, one of a scattering of players in this Gillingham squad. Here's Wright on loan from Charlton. Barry Fuller, Gillingham through and through, was here in the crowd at the playoff final of 2000 as a supporter. Davis trying to get some attacking momentum going for the Shrews, but it's in vain again. It's King for Gillingham, it's Barcham, it's Neat, it's King. This is a great run. Just got caught in 2 minds on the edge of the Shrewsbury box, and Davis can collect. Still King doesn't give it up, he gets the throw.
What is he doing there? Centre half. Well, that just shows the confidence. He's prepared to go forward, and maybe had it been somebody else in that position, they might have been a little bit more confident. But you've got to applaud his desire to want to be in that area.
Ollie goes for the early cross, Langmead away, might come down for Curtis Weston. Weston now looking to thread it through for Simeon Jackson. It's away, but they're having to work hard to keep it that way, Shrewsbury.
Paul Simpson will want that half-time whistle so he can get them in the dressing room and maybe try and tweak things a little bit. Because at the moment, they're just defending, and when they do pick it up and bring it out, there's nothing in front of them, and it just keeps coming back at them.
It's no coincidence, is it? We've seen Simon King with that wonderful run. John Nutter earlier on, the left-back alongside him in that defensive line for Gillingham, also making a bold, ambitious run. But it's Davis on the ball here for Shrewsbury, looking to provide the ammunition for Chadwick. King away, but not convincingly so. It'll take Royce to punch it clear. Back comes Dennis Ollie. Now Stuart Lewis, Josh Wright, given away in a really dangerous area. And Holt takes a swing at it.
Well, you can be too clever at times. They're playing with so much confidence, Gillingham. They believe they can pass it out from the back, but you don't take those sort of chances there. Comes out to Holt. He's leaning back, he's off balance. Just do your job as a defender sometime and just put it into corners. Take those sort of chances.
He has all those goals, of course, this season, Grant Holt, but just 2 of them coming in the last 10 games. The standards he's set, that's comparatively out of form in front of goal.
At the moment, he's doing a lot of good work in his own box and in his own half.
It has been a question of all hands on deck for the Shrews, hasn't it?
Still 0-0, it's the important thing.
Strong challenge from Dennis Ollie. Now Josh Wright.
Number of blue shirts forward. So much availability.
Cut out by Humphrey, he's given it to Jackson.
Just look forward there, and the man on the ball's got so many options. Looks forward, and 2 or 3 balls, different ones he can play. This one, a lovely bit of interchange again. They get lucky, but Jackson onto it in a flash. He's off balance, off target, but he's not had much of a sniff, and you don't want to give him that sort of time and space. Stays 0-0 at half-time. Stimson will be saying, well, we've had a lot of possession, and we still haven't got ourselves on the score sheet. Stop making the possession tell a little bit, get a little bit more quality into our final ball.
Well, that's got to be the concern, hasn't it, Gary? The fact that they're not going to keep having this much possession, you wouldn't think, throughout the 90 minutes.
Well, the
Make it count when you're on top.
Yeah, the belief's there, the confidence there, the legs are there at the moment. They look full of running. Just thriving on this occasion, aren't they, at the moment?
Shrewsbury, of course, were here a couple of years ago, beaten in the final by Bristol Rovers. Just a couple of their starting lineup, though, started that day.
And there you see again, ball out of defence, nobody there.
Large swathes of this first half have been a case of defence against attack, like a training game at times.
Give Shrewsbury the credit, they're still in this game. They've had to defend, they've done it reasonably well. There you see, man on the ball, not many options. They must be so frustrated they can't get possession of the ball.
Lewis, Dennis Ollie, good touch, takes him around Ashton. Cross comes Coughlin, he'll get that.
Well, first touch brilliant, second touch heavy. Again, Coughlin has to come out, reads it well, and denies Holy the chance to put it in the box.
Here's Weston, dancing his way almost into that Shrewsbury box. Again, it'll come back at the men from Shropshire. Fuller, Weston.
The problem is they don't push out too far and get too high the back four, because they know if they do, the pace of Gillingham can unhinge them.
For all that dominance, only think of one save. It came from John Nutter, the one that really tested Luke Daniels.
Him and Holt, it's been a double act to keep that one out.
There's no time on the ball for any of the Shrewsbury playmakers, if you like. That was McIntyre, scorer of the goal that levelled it up on aggregate against Bury. Here come Gillingham again, another wave of blue. Weston into Jackson. Coughlin stood strong, really strong.
He's been fabulous for me, Coughlin. Absolutely superb. They say he's a leader, and he's proving it. There's a touch there, he stands firm, comes round, and just takes the pressure off his team. Gets fouled right in front of the referee. When you're under this sort of pressure, you need somebody to dominate, and he's certainly been doing that when called on.
Well, wouldn't it just be the way if Shrewsbury were to hit Gillingham with a sucker punch in this final minute of the first half. Chadwick's turn. Fuller, the captain, solid defending. He's got the throw in for his side as well.
Very well organised Gillingham at the back, marshalled by Richards and King.
Murray.
Disappointing thing for Shrewsbury, I think, is the fact they've not got Humphrey or McIntyre in the game in any shape or form yet.
Jackson. Shrewsbury fans behind Luke Daniels' goal, appealing for handball. Decision not going to come. The assistant well positioned to judge. And surely the last throw of this first half. Josh Wright. Oh, Daniels had to make a really good instinctive save, and he is to the rescue for Shrewsbury again.
That's fantastic all round. Great technique when it comes in. It's a long hanging throw, comes out. Watch the technique here. Steadies himself, gets over it. Look at that for reaction. That comes through bodies, and this is one of the most difficult saves you can make. Look how he reacts there. That looked like it was in the back of the net. Came through so many players. Brilliant save.
Is he going to have another one of those days? Here's Wright to try and test him again. They stood firm. Lewis fires it over as the half-time whistle goes. Well, it is Gillingham's half, no doubt about that. They have dominated the exchanges, but they haven't been able to make it count in terms of the scoreline, largely due to that young man again. Luke Daniels with that wonderful save late on, earlier on with a little assistance from the head of Grant Holt. He denied John Nutter his first goal of the season. Gillingham on.
Here at Wembley, it's the Coca-Cola League 2 playoff final. Kicked off in the usual fashion, fast and furious, but it settled down to be really quite one-sided. Gillingham having most of the play and nearly all of the chances, but it stays at half-time. Gillingham 0, Shrewsbury 0. So all to play for in the second half, for the right to go up to League One next season. And Shrewsbury having a pre-second half talking on the pitch. Let's join our commentators, Gary Birtles and Bill Leslie.
Well, when you talk to Paul Simpson, he's a pretty affable guy, gives a pretty laid-back air. I dare say that wasn't his manner in the Shrewsbury dressing room at half-time, Gary.
I don't think it would have been, but you've got to give them credit for what they've done. They've survived that first 45 minutes. They're still 0-0, and I'm sure that's exactly what he's told them and said, right, you have the ability, but you need to get the football, because without it, they can't play, and that's what they've struggled to do.
And worth stressing, although there has been something of a one-way system in force on the Wembley turf this afternoon, we are, as we started, scores are level. We start from very much a level playing field, and indeed with the same sides out there. Paul Simpson deciding that the side, if you like, that have got themselves into this mess are well capable of getting themselves out of it, turning the tide. Gillingham, of course, looking for more of the same, but looking for that end product which could result in League One football for them again next season. A mighty noise around the National Stadium as Gillingham in blue get us underway for the second half. Certainly initial interpretations, Gary, doesn't look like there's any change in Shrewsbury's system.
Not at the moment. I think the one thing they've got to try and do is come out from the back a little bit more. They're so frightened of getting done over the top with the pace that they are dropping too deep, and when you do that, it's difficult to get out and be offensive.
Almost the most nervous moment that Simon Royce has had in the match so far. Good pressure on him from Grant Holt. And here is the top scorer. Trying to turn provider this time. Davis gets in there well. Well, it's a Gillingham defence that are so far largely untried in this match. I look to put that right, and the early signs in this opening minute of the second period is that Shrewsbury look to make a little more of a game of it in this second half.
That's a lot better. Started very, very positively. Holt again, the provider. Chadwick attacks it well, but Royce comfortably holds on to it. But that's a better start. At least they've got in that final third. At least they've got the ball in the box. Work the goalkeeper.
Well, there are no strangers to drawing matches this season, Shrewsbury. Over the course of the League Two season, no one drew more games than them. 21 wins for Gillingham to Shrewsbury's 17. Gills' problems in terms of automatic promotion is that they lost too many. They in fact lost 2 more games than the side whose penalty area they attack here. Nutter with a sly one in towards Barcham. Oh, clever turn from Barcham! And Daniels again, the last line of defence.
Well, they just don't learn, do they, Shrewsbury? Again, the free kick, it's an inventive one. They're expecting the ball in the box. Look at this. Nobody near him, he does excellently here, checks back in, but again, who's there? Daniels. At his near post, stands big.
Well, after an early Shrewsbury flurry, normal service resumed, right with the corner. A little slip in that, they all leave it to each other. Barcham step over, and Nutters. It's come all the way through to Fuller. A little too much on that, he's overcooked it.
But again, they just don't pick up on it, Shrewsbury. Just so easy for Gillingham at the moment to pick the pass, put it where they want. They're just switching off at the moment. Shrewsbury. Too many step-overs that time, though. Well, Daniel's the man who more or less single-handedly kept Berry out. And he's keeping Gillingham out as well at the moment.
It's a familiar script, isn't it? As far as Shrewsbury are concerned, but you just think if the pattern does pick up as it was in the first half, and it's showing early signs of that with Barcham getting in behind here, out comes Daniels. It's only a matter of time before Gillingham do breach this resolute Shrewsbury defence.
Well, he applauds the ball, and so he should do. Wonderful delivery, gave him the chance to get in the box. Did the right thing, chested it down, but again Daniels comes out and thwarts him.
One by Chadwick. Holt will try and get in there and very nearly does, back by Richards. But it was simple, it was direct, a knock on from Chadwick. Holt causing problems. Doesn't have to be pretty like a lot of Gillingham's football has been.
No, definitely not. Play to your strengths. The strength is Grant Holt, his ability to back into defenders, to make it difficult.
Well, there's a little more finesse perhaps to Gillingham's game. Strength probably is the strength of Paul Simpson's side.
Strength of mind at the moment. Coughlin and Langmead, Daniels played the part in this game so far.
Fuller played the pass. Ashton with the challenge, which will lead to Clive Oliver giving the free kick.
I feel like the way he's refereeing this game, Mr. Oliver. Close to everything. To get the ball there, might have got that one wrong.
Gary Richards is forward, the centre half. He's got his arm up. He wants John Nutter to fire it in his direction. It's hung up towards King, and in the end, I think it was Langmead that got the final touch behind.
I think every time but one, when Gillingham have put the ball in, they've made that man defend. Again, it's put into the far post. And they ask the questions, and at the moment they're all being answered, but they're making them defend every time it comes in the box. Look at this. That is so one-sided, isn't it?
And they make one count though. Daniels with a solid enough punch away. Murray first to it for Shrewsbury. There's no one in a black shirt within any sort of distance of him. He looks to release Humphrey.
Well, at least they are leaving one up. They're leaving Humphrey up before the set pieces. I think everybody was going back, and when they cleared it, nobody was there. At least that pace is there, and that outlet with Humphrey now.
Well, that corner statistic, one that really does seem to tell the tale of how this game has gone so far. The one-sided nature. Gillingham have enjoyed the superiority. But it counts for nothing unless they start to make it count. And as the minutes tick on here, this Coca-Cola League 2 playoff final, the longer they fail to make it count, the more the nerves will creep in to what is a predominantly young Gillingham side. Needs to have a calming word here, the referee from Northumberland.
There's no need to do this either, Gillingham. There's so much on top, no need to get involved. It was, you know, the proverbial handbags there, nothing at all to get involved in, but he chose to.
Shrewsbury, who had a man sent off in that playoff final defeat to Bristol Rovers here at Wembley a couple of seasons ago. Also, of course, a man sent off in semi-final second leg against Bury. Still talking to here from the referee, or maybe he does feel the need for a card. It's going to be a card for Coughlin and one for Curtis Weston by the look of things.
Is it just Weston, or is he going to give Coughlin one? Just Weston. I think, for holding on to the ball and denying them the chance to take the free kick. No, he's given him one as well at last. He won't give them the ball. Referee right on it again, and he's right to book him. Got to give the ball back. There's no need to get involved. You're so much in top in the game, and just let the opposition do that.
Coughlin floats it forward. Header one, struck absolutely beautifully by Ben Davis. By a distant, Shrewsbury's best moment.
Well, the only thing he could do other than that was put it in the back of the net. The header's won well, it's a cross, takes it early, and that is, again, really good goalkeeping. Positioned himself perfectly. Could have been flat-footed, wasn't.
Well, is it a coincidence that Shrewsbury's best moment followed the first time they really got under the opposition's skin?
Well, it was King who put it back across his own goal there, and it's a fantastic strike. People say it was a comfortable save. It was, because his position was so good. Could have been the centre of goal. He wasn't.
And just to confirm for you, the two quick-fire yellow cards for Curtis Weston. The youngest ever player still to appear in an FA Cup final at 17 for Millwall. It's backed by Moss.
Oh, there seems to be a little bit more purpose, doesn't there, in the play now?
Suddenly seems to have come alive a little bit, doesn't it, both on the field and off it. Atmosphere going up, a couple of notches here at Wembley as well. Off goes Weston, goes to ground under the challenge. There might be another yellow card here, this time for Paul Murray.
Certainly will be a yellow card. He knew straight away. He was just done by ability there. Step over. Yeah, quite right. You see the step over there. Just blatantly blocks him right in front of the referee again. And the referee doing what he had to.
Well, he might not appreciate too much, Paul Simpson, the fact that his side are starting to pick up yellow cards, but at least they're getting close enough in the second half to make the challenges. Ball from the keeper.
Just bringing the step, Shrewsbury at the moment. Getting a little bit weary in the first half. Under that intense pressure, you're bound to be.
Chadwick leads the charge here for Shrewsbury. Now Davis, who came so close a moment ago. Definitely an air of more about them as they look to snap this Gillingham dominance. Coughlin. Langmead, the longest serving player at the ProStar Stadium.
Not so comfortable at the moment at the back for Gillingham as it was in the first half. To do a little bit of work at the moment.
Chadwick trying to divert it towards a teammate. It's away by Stuart Lewis.
They get more pressure on the ball now as well, aren't they? Before it was too easy for Gillingham at the back. They just brought it out at will.
Holt. Now Humphrey has a chance to really attack the ball. Combination of solid defending and good goalkeeping did the job for Gillingham.
It really happened there. Royce has done the right thing. He's commanded the situation. He's come out a long way up his line. There he comes and just maybe lands funny. Really good goalkeeping. You like to see that in a goalkeeper. Makes his mind up, comes and claims it very well indeed.
And Chris Humphrey, who lift off that defeat in the first leg of the semi-final against Bury, what looked a pretty serious hamstring injury. Immediately, though, they diagnosed it as just that. They were able to give him an injection and treatment, and always looked like he'd missed that second leg, but here he is, ready for the big day. If you are going to have a lacklustre half of football, it's much better to do it in the first than in the second.
Definitely. They put him on the left-hand side after this second half. Humphrey.
Holt rides the challenges and continues to do so. Heading the wrong way, though.
They're trying to get Humphrey in the game. Didn't get it on the other side. The right-hand side first half. A little bit more productive second half.
Finally, the Shrewsbury supporters having something to sing about here. Gillingham having something to think about as it's angled up towards Chadwick. Got the header there.
Trying to get it into Holt, didn't he? Again, Royce commands the situation.
Here's Josh Wright. Now Weston. Now Jackson. Just behind Dennis Ollie. Suddenly the play that was flowing in the first half isn't coming quite so easy to the men of Kent. It's Humphrey and it's Fuller.
Certainly made Gillingham think a little bit, the switch of Humphrey to the left-hand side.
Here comes Lewis. Clever ball for Simeon Jackson. Barcham waits in a central position. Here's Jackson, deflected, finds a way through to Barcham. Barcham for Gillingham, cut back. Curtis Wetson couldn't get there, nor could Lewis.
Well, again, defending of the highest order, and it's had to be. And it's again, Coughlin guiding things from the centre of that defence. Barcham does well, holds it up, just don't get the rebounds here. They're just crowded out yet again, and how many times have we seen that so far in this match?
Tell you what though, Gary, it's feeling a lot more like a final now, isn't it?
Not so one-sided, is it? So we've started to get a little bit more into this.
Such is the nature of the playoffs, this season's work condensed into one afternoon. Even less than that now, approaching the hour, scores level.
Coming out.
Grant Holt the recipient this time. It's 3 now in the opening quarter of an hour of this second half for the Shrews.
Grant Holt say, I'm a striker, what do you expect? We don't tackle particularly well. Nothing malicious, just steps inside, just sticks a leg out, tries to get the ball, it is a foul. But he's been consistent, the referee.
Not the first of the season, as you can see, for Grant Holt. King sent forward. Nutters touch. King might just get that. Possession retained well. Josh Wright. Now Weston. Slip from Ollie as he looked to repeat the feat that he did in the first half on the fullback Neil Ashton. Chadwick. McIntyre. Murray. And the carded Shrewsbury 3 in this second period. He's experienced playoff playing in the past as well as at Queen's Park Rangers when they were beaten by Cardiff. Just trying to get their passing going and not doing a bad job here, Shrewsbury. Murray still leading the charge. Out by Holt. Holt takes up his position in the middle. And Royce is able to spoil the party as far as Shrewsbury are concerned. But it's better again.
Well, we've seen some really good goalkeeping from both goalkeepers. Both confident, both dominant. I think what Paul Simpson has told his team, the back four have got to push up. Yes, they've got pace. Yes, they might get in behind us. But if you don't push up, we're not going to get midfield involved. And so far in the second half, it's been better in that respect.
I'm sure that's quite where Grant Holt intended it to go. Collected by Stuart Lewis, known somewhat tongue-in-cheek by some of his teammates as the water carrier of the team in that midfield. It's a young midfield, isn't it? So look at Lewis, who's 21, Wright 19, Curtis Weston 22.
Yeah, full of energy, full of desire. First half they dominated that midfield, but the second half, getting a bit of their own medicine.
Like Mark Stimpson saying in the build-up to the match, here's Ollie looking to flick it cleverly in behind for Jackson.
Who's there again? Coughlin, the captain.
And Mark Stimpson saying his young players on this big Wembley pitch might glide around like crisp packets in the wind, he said. And certainly that was the case in the first half. They were everywhere, weren't they?
It was never described as a crisp packet floating across the surface, that's for sure.
Helped on by Murray. Holt, good touch. Chadwick gives chase. King in there. And the offside flag up was there to deny Shrewsbury. Well, there's a good atmosphere here and a great crowd. 53,000, that's the second highest ever for a playoff final at this level. Roughly about 1 in every 3 people who live in Shrewsbury or Gillingham, the two towns, are here at Wembley this afternoon. Terrific effort by the two clubs.
Fabulous. Critics of the playoff system shouldn't be now because they create so much entertainment at the end of the season. Gives teams so many chances to get into the playoffs. You could be so far behind and got no chance of getting in the top 3 if it was automatic, but the playoff positions give everybody that opportunity.
And the critics who were quite vociferous early on about the playoff system, particularly those who were involved in the third-place clubs or at this level the fourth-place clubs who'd narrowly miss out on automatic promotion, seem to have been silenced. They've been around a fair time now, haven't they? 20 years. I think everyone now accepts that it is the way. If you don't get in those automatic slots, then you have to take on this. As it's always said, what a wonderful way to finish off your season if you're winners. If not, you pack your bags, you cut your cloth and stay in the same division for another year.
Yeah, but even if you lose in the final, at least you've been given that opportunity to go for promotion and get there. You know, one season you could finish third, and if it was automatic you not go up. The next season, you know, you can get in the playoffs. It just makes so much sense to do these games.
It was only a final day win, of course, that got Shrewsbury here. Ashton with a free kick for them. Header well won, and McIntyre was in position A1 to do a little better than that.
Well, what a chance this is. Long high ball again, wonderfully won there. He's in acres of space and just doesn't seem to know where the goal is. Look at him, right in between there, tries to put too much on it. Just concentrate on hitting the target. Just got there a little bit early, try to power it in there. You don't need to do that, you just need to make decent contact, and the keeper saves it fine.
McIntyre, the man who scored the goal that got them to Wembley, or at least got them to the penalty shootout to get to Wembley, couldn't open the account at the National Stadium. King for Gillingham.
It was the best chance, wasn't it?
Fixture that produced 11 goals in 2 league meetings in the 66th minute at Wembley is yet to produce one.
About tight to all the playoffs been this season.
Watch this change here. Davis denied by a solid Barcham block. Back in, Chadwick was rating. Here comes Ollie and here come Gillingham. Humphrey back. Just to stem the flow, there's a lot of space on that left. Barcham wants it played across there. Jackson now. Lewis. Josh Wright. Here's Nutter. Barcham. Jackson drops deep. Now Lewis, clever play, cut out by Shrewsbury. Just starting to creak a little bit. Sit a little deeper as Gillingham come on. Right, Lewis. John Nutter. Fizzed in. Barcham with the touch. Couldn't get the shot to follow up. Due to that man again. Coughlin, the captain. Humphrey. Take on the Gillingham skipper. Murray. Davis. Murray. Holt floating around to try and make things happen. Davis, who certainly can do that.
A long way out, but worth an effort, wasn't it? The difference this second half is they are pushing on a little bit more. They're a little bit higher as a back four, and what they're doing, they're keeping Chadwick and Holt up. In the first half, they were dropping deep to help out. I think Paul Simpson just said, right, let the midfield do that. You have to be there when we get the ball.
Well, if not quite so, the managers and players, the Wembley memories still pretty fresh in the minds of these 2 sets of supporters. It did look a little different 9 years ago when Gillingham were last here for that win against Wigan to take them up to the Championship. Barcham. Shrewsbury look for the foul, it's not going to come. Jackson trying to get away from Langmead.
Yeah, good high line. That's the difference for me. Switched Humphrey to the left, and that's made a difference as well.
Holt is the target. Holt gets the better of King. In by Davis, looking for Chadwick. Richards can clear. Now Humphrey. Good whip on that one in towards Chadwick. No offside flag either.
Good pressure, good ball in. Chadwick applauds it. Tries to bring it down and get his shot away. A lot of encouragement now for them Shrewsbury fans behind that goal. Didn't see much in the first half, but seen a lot more the second half.
Ashton wants more option. The move from Murray gives him just that. He's got the better of Weston. Coughlin's header. Painful one for Davis, and he'll get a free kick as well.
Gillingham finding it difficult to get hold of the ball and take command again. Shrewsbury found it difficult in the first half. Good tactical awareness, I think, by the manager, Paul Simpson, second half. Seen what was the problem, put it right straight away.
Davis and McIntyre, the two who will look to deliver. Coughlin, Chadwick, and of course Grant Holt among those up there. Davis will take.
It wasn't such a bad ball. Nobody got on the end of it. Decent delivery. It gives you something to attack. Any sort of touch on it from anybody there causes a problem.
Now well inside the final quarter of this final. Extra time, of course, and penalties wait in the wings if they are required here. By the time we finish at Wembley, one of these two will still be in League Two. One of them will be in League One. Holt, Chadwick, Shrewsbury without a doubt enjoying their best spell of the match just at the moment, in by Humphrey.
Saw Holt coming across there, but blocked by King. A lot more encouraging for Shrewsbury this second half. He surprised Gillingham a wee bit. That tells you how much Shrewsbury have come back into the game. They were getting battered possession-wise first half. Second half, it's all down to, for me, the manager.
Made a few tactical switches at half-time, but still largely sticking to their tried and trusted 4-4-2 formation.
The problem in the first half, the two strikers were coming back too deep, and there was no outlet for you when you've got the ball at the back. It was just being hoofed down the front, and then it was coming straight back at you. And he's certainly stopped that happening, because Chadwick and Holt in a lot further forward positions this second half.
The men of Kent and the Kentish men massed together at one end of Wembley Stadium. Familiar sight for Shrewsbury's fans. It's the same end of the same blue and white colours at that end of the ground Bristol Rovers supporters had when they were beaten here 2 years ago. This is fuller now for Gillingham. Great run, good cutback, but Simeon Jackson couldn't get it goalward enough.
I think it was meant for him. Weston was coming in behind.
Well away by Ashton, now Humphrey. Chadwick. It's a brilliant build-up. It's Ben Davis in the box, and it's a corner.
Just seemed to stop, didn't it, the ball in the grass there. You thought he was just going to burst onto it, take it in his stride, just seemed to hold up. Lovely ball played in there. You think he's just going to go in front. It just stops on him a little. Gives the defender a chance to come back and time this to perfection. And get that wrong's a pen.
They all wait in the box for the right delivery. Coughlin the one to keep it alive, but Royce's throw is not the best. Hit the back of a player, and Josh Wright does manfully to retain possession for Gillingham. Lewis, terrific noise around Wembley now.
Well, this is the time, approaching what, 75 minutes, your legs start to get tired. You see, I think it's Richards there, stretching. Your hamstrings a little bit tight, going to be mentally strong.
Time for a change, right on cue. Paul Murray, who doesn't often finish matches for Shrewsbury Town, our most substituted player, will make way And the young, fresh legs of David Worrell will come on to replace him. Like the goalkeeper Luke Daniels, on loan from West Bromwich Albion, initially for a month, extended to include these playoffs. That's his first taste of Wembley Stadium football. Chadwick. You'd think Worrell's brief would be to provide a little bit of width. Certainly no hint of an injury for Paul Murray. It's a tactical switch by Paul Simpson.
Will provide them with fresh impetus, without a doubt. Could be the difference.
Certainly McIntyre operating more centrally now. Here's Josh Wright. And now Weston. Shrewsbury back off. Here's Simeon Jackson. The deflection might make it awkward. Coughlan can clear it. Only as far as Fuller. Wright. Great touch.
Well, made his mind up, didn't he? Going for glory. Why not? Confident enough to do it.
And this is the first of a trio of cracking finals here at Wembley this weekend. Tomorrow it's League One. Millwall against Scunthorpe for a place in the Championship. 1 o'clock Sky Sports 1 and HD 1. And Monday, Burnley and Sheffield United fight it out for that final place in the Premier League next season from 2 Sky Sports 1 and HD 1. Into the last quarter of an hour of this League 2 final here now. Dennis Early for Gillingham. Weston. Fuller, who back in January was admitted to hospital with bacterial pneumonia. Well, he nearly put pay to his career at one stage, there were fears, but made a full recovery, back playing football a month later, captaining his boyhood club here at Wembley now. Davis.
Like Shrewsbury in the first half, they struggled to get their wide men in the game. I think second half, Bartram and Oley have struggled to get in the game because of the change in the Shrewsbury formation.
Tatty looking linesman's flag, isn't it? Clive Oliver and his assistants Keith Lawson and Paul Thompson have been together all season. And it's not just footballers who are superstitious. There's the same flags that haven't been washed since day one. Holt now for Shrewsbury. Worrell, the substitute, could be in here. Perhaps for a more patient build-up. Humphrey.
See, the fresh legs got him in there. I thought he was just going to sprint onto that and take it on his left foot. Didn't he? Checked out. You've got to take a chance when you get it there.
With the ball in hand. Chadwick now to cause some problems. The man who scored an own goal in the first leg launches it in, up towards Holt.
Hits on the shoulder of his centre-half, far post. The right thing, headed it down, but unfortunately Royce is in his way again. Made it so much more difficult, haven't they? Shrewsbury in the second half, they've got closer to the ball, they put pressure on the ball. It's paid off for them.
Smile on the face of Omar Riza as Shrewsbury make their second change. Well, Omar Riza, who's had an extraordinary last 15 months or so, effectively suspended from all sorts of football after he was playing in Turkish football, had a contract dispute, And his registration was withheld by the Turkish Football Association. He's only played a handful of games now for Shrewsbury. Started their second leg away at Bury, and now comes on, the former Arsenal trainee here at Wembley Stadium. Played here actually as a kid before that famous Paul Gascoigne FA Cup semi-final between Arsenal and Spurs for the Arsenal kids.
Well, who's got it in them to be a hero, eh? Somebody.
Right. Nutter, who could have been that hero. A brilliantly struck shot. Well saved by Luke Daniels, had his Josh Wright in the first half. Gillingham haven't really produced too much in front of goal in the second. Davis with some standout chances for Shrewsbury Town. Where is the goal going to come from? Is it going to be a moment of brilliance? Is it going to be a mistake?
Looked a foul, didn't it? Assistant was right on top of that one.
Last 10 minutes now. A goal at this stage is mightily hard to bounce back from. Those sets of supporters know that, those managers know that, and all the players out there do as well. Worrell. King gets the benefit of the referee's decision.
You know, as a centre-half, Grant Holt will do that to you all afternoon. Some you get, some you don't.
Right. Barcham. Great tenacity by Barcham. It was a good challenge by Darren Moss. Now Risa. Humphrey. Risa continues his run. Holt wants the early ball.
It amazes me when Grant Holt's in that position, the ball's floated to him, you need somebody around him.
Barcham able to spring away from Darren Moss, played through to Simeon Jackson. Coughlin got a vital toe in again.
Hey, that was vital as well, because Oli was bursting through the middle there, and good invention again.
Tired legs, few players just stretching off a little bit of cramp. Everything given, not just today, but over the course of a 46-game League Two campaign. It all comes down to under 9 minutes. And will it take another half an hour to split these two? Shrewsbury dominant over the two meetings in the league. Gillingham 6 points the better of Shrewsbury Town over the 46 games.
Well, Richards really struggling out there at the back. He's been stretching non-stop.
Here's Holt. Humphrey. It's having to operate very deep again. Leaves Risa as the most advanced Shrewsbury player. Lewis. Stuart Lewis for Gillingham. Offside flag against Simeon Jackson.
It's a real shame. Did exceptionally well, didn't he, Lewis? Goes past his man, gets away from him. There, maybe just delays it a little bit. Assistant flag went straight up, right in line with it. With this pace, you don't need to go so early.
When you get to this stage of this sort of a game, little things can prove important. There's Mark Stimpson keeping his hand pretty close to his chest in terms of not making substitutions with extra time in mind. Two already made, of course, by Shrewsbury Town and Paul Simpson. Brilliantly intercepted by Fuller, and a split second turning defence into attack. Oli, a little ponderous perhaps. Now right. Lewis. Barcham. Right again. Lewis. Trying to get that swift one-touch passing going, but Shrewsbury won't allow it. Omar Risa. Ben Davis. Holt. A give and go, hoping that Risa would set off, but the combinations didn't quite work out.
There's a lot of tired minds out there at the moment, tired limbs. The energy they've spent out there can take its toll, the occasion can take its toll.
Big pitch, warm afternoon as well.
Yeah.
All factors, and of course these mighty stakes under which these players are performing. One slip, one tired challenge away from playing in League Two next season, or indeed from being able to capitalise on one and playing in League One. So fine are the margins, so close is the end, and so level is the playing field. Still 0-0. A first half that Gillingham dominated almost from start to finish. The second half, well, it's been much more even, hasn't it? Maybe even Shrewsbury have shaded it.
Well, we did wonder, didn't we? All the possession they had, they couldn't turn it into goals. Well, it'd come back to haunt them a little bit. Hasn't yet. It's still 0-0, but well, there's the attempt. Really closed down. Still Gillingham on top, and Daniels providing the big stumbling block for them.
We might have expected between them to be able to muster more than just four. Risa. Giant cheer from the Salopians behind Simon Royce's goal. Trying to play their part. McIntyre will have to go again with a touch from Ashton. Holt.
Very closely guarded by King. Giving him any time to bring it under control.
Langmead. Worrell. Langmead trying to fizz it in for Omar Risa. And when they needed to be in the first half, the Shrewsbury defence was just about on top. And when they've needed to be in the second half, you can apply exactly the same to Gillingham.
You can. Both sets of centre-halves, I think, have played superbly.
Right. Lead the charge from midfield. Might just come for Jackson. Across comes Ashton.
Well, two pieces of excellent defending in the last couple of minutes from Ashton. Had to come across, had to make the challenge. Did make the challenge. Got out of the danger area.
Barcham. He's taken on two and still fancies his chances. Back towards Nutter. Away by Langmead. Risa. McIntyre. No way out though. Milton King renew hostilities. King comes out on top. And Grant Holt snapping back in, and back comes King again. And Holt in his eagerness to make it up.
Well,
that's the foul.
Before the game, the key could be how both sets of centre-halves handle both sets of strikers. So far, not much to choose between them. Both performed admirably. Sticks to his task really well there, King. "90 seconds of the 90 minutes remain. Not a time to take any chances, and the way Langmead defended that would suggest as much.
Right.
Just crowded out, wasn't he?
King. So there'll be about 3 minutes of added time. The goal now would surely be a winner. Barcham. That's a Gillingham corner in the last minute of the League Two playoff final.
Well, all you've got to concentrate now is the quality. As Barcham gets in a good area, did that rebound off him?
Attacking the end where their supporters are housed. A corner for Gillingham, a header and in! Across the line! Simeon Jackson's header sends Gillingham back to League One. There's no way back here for Shrewsbury. Right on the stroke of the 90, would you believe it?
Unbelievable, isn't it? You're looking for a hero and you're not surprised. It's that man in your picture. I said it's got to be quality. It was quality. Nobody picks him up. There, clearly in the roof of the net. For once he didn't defend it, but this is pure quality. Concentrated, get it in the area. Nobody picks him up, and that's a terrific header. And to generate his power, just goes over Holt. Hits the target, bounces off the shoulder and into the roof of the net. And he knows he could have taken his team to promotion, and nobody's surprised that it's him. Is it in? Yes, it is.
Well, no team is a one-man team, but the goals from Simeon Jackson look like they will propel Gillingham back to League One at the first time of asking.
Well, for how well the defended Shrewsbury, it's a big surprise he's come from a set piece, the goal. That he did pick somebody up in the centre of the goals, centre of the 6-yard box. And they'll be bitterly disappointed with that.
Well, Shrewsbury need to find something quick. Langmead. Holt. Jackson, the toast of Kent, to just right. Cruel times to concede goals, there are great times to score goals, and depending on what colour your affiliation is, it's a little bit of both. Coughlin away. In the 3rd minute of the allotted added 3, might have a bit more tagged on as well.
You do feel sorry for Coughlin because he's been outstanding in this match. One piece of quality from a set piece, and they just haven't dealt with it. Never picked him up, he got a free header, still had a lot to do with it. Didn't he do it well?
Well, this is where they want to be, in all senses, at this time of the match, Gillingham.
Well, what they don't want to do now is switch off and think they've won it. They're nearly there.
Ole's leap, Jackson's touch. Just when it looked like they'd run out of ideas, they found the moment of magic they needed to do what so many have tried to do in recent weeks and been unable to, and that's beat Luke Daniels. Here's the touch from Holt, helped on by Omarisa. Maybe Shrewsbury can spoil the party. Ben Davis gets the cross in. Royce Combs doesn't get there, but Coughlin couldn't capitalise. It would have been fitting had he been able to, but Captain Courageous saw his header go wide.
Well, I think Royce just does enough, doesn't he? It's a great ball put in there. Royce under pressure, but that's good defending. Did enough just to put him off. There, leaps high, but just can't get over the top of it. And he knows that might be it.
Now in the 5th minute of added time. Gillingham baying, praying for the final whistle. Can't be far away now.
Mark Stimson can't believe it. This game's still going on.
A look at the watch from Clive Oliver. And a blow of the whistle, which signifies that Gillingham are back in League One. Their #1 striker producing a goal almost exactly on the 90-minute mark. A header which guided Gillingham after a real season of turmoil last year, back at the first time of asking, and a goal which broke Shrewsbury hearts. A wonderful place for winners, a terrible place for losers, and Gillingham are the League Two playoff final winners here this afternoon.
Yeah, magnificent. What a time to score a goal. You're not surprised that Jackson got it, but he kept going, didn't have many chances, and that's a sign of a really good striker. The belief's always there that one will come your way, and when it did, he put it away superbly. Wasn't easy. He had to generate a bit of power, and didn't he do it well?
Well, 2 goals in that semi-final second leg to see off Rochdale, 1 here at Wembley to bring Shrewsbury to their knees and spark celebrations all the way from North London back to Kent. Paul Scally, who had some unhappy Gillingham supporters last season, even threatened an attack him in his car on the way back from a game. He's fallen in love once more with the game of football, and I bet he's absolutely passionate about it now.
Well, still talk whether it should have been a corner for the goal. This is a moment. Did turn it. There's the cross. There's the block. Comes off his knee. Wasn't a corner. There was a question mark when it happened. Now we can see. And this is what happens. They didn't pick him up. Slightly behind him. What a great header that is. Terrific header.
Well, Jackson, the man who did it for his manager, Mark Stimson. Let's hear from him now. He's with Greg Whelan. We'll hear from Mark Stimson in a moment as the Gillingham celebrations continue.
But what a part Shrewsbury played second half, and you just feel for that man. He put everything into that. He was superb. Give Paul Simpson credit for the way he changed it round to make a game of it. Surprised Gillingham a little bit, but that man had the belief to think he could be the match winner.
Well, so many times you see it, don't you? 7-0 was a lot of the talk when these two met, of course, all the way back in the opening 6 weeks of the season. That was Shrewsbury's margin of superiority, a draw when they met in March at the Priestfield Stadium. How would it go today? Well, they've completed the set, haven't they, of all 3 results. And how does their manager feel? We can now hear from Mark Stimson down with Greg.
Shoulders, I've got a great family around me, and they're the people I listen to most.
How do you feel?
I'm just feeling back to last year. You know, I got relegated at Leeds, and I took responsibility. I've put a group of players together. Yeah, some have come from non-league, but I was in non-league as well. I tell you what, these boys have got pride and passion. And if you've got that, you've got a chance. Last year I had a lot of players who had none of that whatsoever, and they didn't help the cause. But this year we've got a group of players now who are young, hungry, and and you can see as well they can play. They can play, and that's what I encourage them to do. Get the ball down and pass it. I thought we should have been a go up at half-time, to be honest, but their keeper was on form. Second half, we've got the goal late. There's not a lot of time then for Shrewsbury to equalise, but we owed them one because at the beginning of the year 7-0, and that's when people really started to point the finger at me. But I had great belief in my players, and today and tonight, all the people at Gillingham, be proud of their football team, be proud of their football players, and Chairman, that's for you.
You've had some tough times, you suggested that. This must make up for it, I guess.
Oh, more than makes up for it, because I love proving people wrong. I'll take it on my shoulders, got big shoulders, I've got a great family around me, and they're the people I listen to most. And the chairman said to me, go out and do what you do best, get your teams to play football. That's why he employed me. And I think today, the players have done that, and they've really passed the ball in a fantastic stadium, and I think in the end we deserve the win.
Well done, Mark. Congratulations.
Well, fantastic celebrations there. Mark Stimson talking earlier, and just wonderful for Gillingham. And as he says, it pays back that 7-0 fourfold, doesn't it, really? But the talking point is going to be that corner kick. You realise that, and that's going to be a talking point for our studio guests here. But let's go to Paul Simpson, who's the losing manager of Shrewsbury. Must be absolutely storming at this moment. But the man of the match is Simon King of Gillingham, and he's with Greg Whelan now.
Simeon, many congratulations. League One football next season. How does that sound?
It's the best feeling in the world. You know, we worked so hard all season, and just to get the reward at the end is just magnificent, magnificent.
It was a tough game for you personally. You had to wait for that moment, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew it would come. And luckily it came in the last minute, you know.
Not a bad place to score goal number 21 of the season, is it?
Oh, it's not bad at all. You hear that? It's just magnificent, absolutely magnificent.
Something about special this day is, Simon, for Gillingham.
Unbelievable. Just listen to the fans. I can't even talk. My voice is gone. But credit to Jacko. He's done it all year. Scored some great goals for us. What a time to score and that. But what a battle it was. Fair play to Shrewsbury. They gave everything. But we knew if we did our job at the back of them, we've got more than enough ability up front to win us a game. And it shows he's done it again.
Look forward to next season. Charlton, Norwich, Leeds United, Southampton. Looking forward to that?
Oh, can't wait. Especially after last year, this point of relegation. What a way to bounce back. Coming to Wembley and winning it here. Beautiful stadium and all the fans. What a day out for Gillingham, and all the players are absolutely buzzing now.
Congratulations on the day. You're also the Powerade man of the match. Simeon, do the honours for us, please. Well done, guys.
Well, relegated last season. The chairman, Paul Scally, and all the team back up again after one season, rebuilding with, by and large, non-league players. It's really paid off for Gillingham as they go up for their medals and receive the trophy. It'll be great scenes in the Medway Towns, I'm sure about that, and an amazing amount of support here for them. On average gates of just over 5,000. Well, Peter Taylor, you know all about that, don't you, really? You know about Gillingham and the potential that there is there.
Yeah, I think you know, they brought the same amount last time we were here, and I think that you'd like the average gate to be more nearly like 10,000 when they play their league matches. But you know, they're going to enjoy their day, and I think over the 90 minutes they just about enjoyed it. I feel really sorry for Paul Simpson and Shrewsbury, because it was a tough way to finish. But it's, you know, the Kent fans will go home, and the A2 and the M25 are going to be buzzing tonight, I should think.
Absolutely right. And Andy, overall, the right team?
Yeah, I think so. They certainly the first half they dominated. Having said that, there weren't many clear-cut chances in open play. It looked like set pieces, and that's what it came down to in the end.
OK, let's go back to our commentators for the trophy lift, and Bill Leslie. Bill.
Thanks, George. Well, Mark Stimson among the party going up, and as we heard from him, it's a wonderful game sometimes for you. The lowest of the low 12 months ago after relegation from League One, and the barrage of criticism that followed them down. And now, of course, the flip side, the joy of promotion for Gillingham Football Club, for Paul Scally, for Barry Fuller, who's had a real up and down season, of course, health problems in the middle of it. But the last time, 9 years ago, that Gillingham were here, he was a fan. Now he's living the dream, leading them up the famous Wembley steps. And there is the trophy. It's the old cliche, isn't it, about how wonderful it is to win promotion this way. And it'll feel like the best way in the world for Gillingham. They did it after extra time. Looked like they would need extra time here to mirror that Wigan success 9 years ago. There can be only one today, and that one on the way to League One is Gillingham Football Club. The Garden of England is all rosy again. Young and old, Simon Royce, the 37-year-old, and all the young players building their way from non-league football, some from part-time football, up to League One, where they will play some big sides. What a team effort, though, Gary. First half, they absolutely dominated. Looked like it was going to get away from them. But in the end, can you begrudge them the victory? Harsh on the way it happened, but the overall result, you can't really argue with, can you?
Not at all. They were dominant in the first half. They approached the game magnificently. They moved the ball well. 1 and 2 touches. Shrewsbury just couldn't get out their own half. But give Paul Simpson all the credit second half. He changed it round and made things really difficult for Gillingham. And then you have to give them credit for responding to that. They're a bit bemused by, I think, the change, but they just came through it, and to get the goal as late as that, it was just unbelievable for them. I felt both the emotions, one of sitting on the pitch, distraught at losing in a Wembley final, and one being there. Brilliant feeling.
Well, all the squad rejoicing in this. Mark Stimson saying that his hardest decision of the day would be who to leave out of the matchday 16. He was left on the bench here once as a player, but as a manager, FA Trophy success is one thing. Promotion, particularly coming on the heels of last season's relegation, is quite another. He said before this would be the biggest day of his football career. It'll now feel like it's the best day of his football career.
And it's the way they play. He's so positive in his approach with the way he sets up his teams. 3 up front, pace up front, so solid at the back, well organised in midfield. He's got the balance perfectly right. And I was delighted to hear him after saying he hadn't got the characters last season. He's obviously discarded the ones he didn't think were right, and he's got this side buzzing.
Yeah, he's gone to non-league. The players he's known from his time there with Grays and Stevenage, brought them in, got some of those who perhaps might, he felt, have had their feet under the table, getting a little complacent. And young, hungry players have delivered the big prize here to start off this playoff weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's pleasing on the eye the way they play. I just love to see teams move the ball quickly across midfield, play with verve and style. They were inventive from set pieces. It's just that Daniels kept them at bay, as he has done in the past against other teams. But what a feeling that is, walking down there with those medals round your neck.
It's a season that's lasted 51 weeks. He had them in for pre-season training on the 1st of June. 51 weeks later, they are promoted. A job very well done for Gillingham Football Club.
So Gillingham go up to League One, and what a League One it will be next season, including, of course, Andy Scott and Peter Taylor. And while we're celebrating with Gillingham, Shrewsbury will be thinking, was that a corner, won't they? They'll be absolutely gutted when they find out it wasn't a corner.
They will. It's, sometimes these ties are, they can be changed with decisions like that. But you've still got to defend the corner, and they'll be really disappointed with the way they defend it. It looked like Moss was supposed to be marking Jackson and just got away from him. And you can't let a goal scorer like that have room in the box at any time of the game, let alone the last minute.
It was set up perhaps for Grant Holt, but in the end, Simeon Jackson in the air proved the difference.
Well, I think that's where it's a bit of a surprise, really. If you'd have seen Jackson outpace somebody and score a goal, you're never surprised about that. But he's not the biggest, and to score the goal there, it's probably good movement, but very poor marking. We think from Shrewsbury, but I think one of the Shrewsbury defenders did question the decision straight away, and so unfortunately, it is a poor decision by the referee, and he should have been a goal kick.
Peter, since you got Gillingham up at Wembley in a playoff final, they've had some great days, and it's gone backwards since, hasn't it, really? Is this the start of something bigger and better for them?
Well, you hope so. I think Mark Stimson's done really well. It was a tough season for him last year, getting relegated in his first season there, and it was a brave appointment by Paul Scally, because at that time Mark hadn't been in the league, but everywhere he's been, he's had an organised team and a good football team, and Gray, Stevenage, they play good stuff as they did today. I think Andy Heston-Taylor done a brilliant job in the Championship for them a long time. People don't even think about that, but Andy done a terrific job there, and so you hope now Gillingham, potential of the area, it's got a great chance then of going up again.
We've